flight, we are go for launch. T minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. This is Navigating AI, hosted by Rich Wilson, guiding business leaders through the new intelligence era. Let's explore how AI is reshaping business, leadership, and the world.
Hi, I'm Rich Wilson. Welcome to Navigating AI, where we guide business and HR leaders through the new intelligence era. Today's episode is titled AI Without Hype: How Jefferson Dental is Using Technology to Strengthen HR Communication. And today's conversation is with Yoonki Na, Vice President of Human Resources at Jefferson Dental and Orthodontics. Yoonki leads HR for a Texas-based dental service organization with more than 700 employees across 60-plus locations. His team supports clinical providers, front desk teams, corporate employees, recruiting, payroll, benefits, engagement, culture, and communications. That kind of scale creates a real challenge. How do you keep communication consistent, timely, and personal when your workforce is spread across dozens of locations? What I appreciate about Yoonki's perspective is that he is not talking about AI as a futurist or a technologist. He is talking about AI as an HR operator. He is using technology to solve real communication problems inside a real business. In this conversation, we talk about how Jefferson Dental is using AI-enabled tools like ChangeEngine to personalize employee messages, automate reminders, improve feedback collection, and create touch points that HR team previously did not have the capacity to manage consistently. We also talk about how to evaluate new technology without getting caught up in the hype, why usability matters more than a polished demo, and why AI should be treated as a tool, not a final answer. Yoonki, welcome to the show. So great to see you again, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Rich. Great to be here and looking forward to our conversations.
Us too. So let's dive right in. Before we get into ChangeEngine, I want to give listeners a clear picture of the environment that you're operating in. For listeners who do not know Jefferson Dental, give us a quick picture of the organization and the workforce you support.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. And I love to share about Jefferson. And as HR person, I could talk about Jefferson all day, but I'll try to make it as short as possible. Jefferson and Dental, we, like you mentioned, we are 700 plus employees, 60 location. We operate out of all the metroplex here in state of Texas. So that includes Greater DFW, Greater Houston, San Antonio, and Austin. We started in 1967 with one single location, where that location still exists to today and operate out of that location strong and still serves the community. We're very focused on our patient care, where we are focused on providing our low income, hard to receive dental care, where we're able to give comprehensive dental care to our patients. So we give full comprehensive from general dentistry, hygiene, orthodontics, and many specialty within our business to provide one roof, one stop shop where they could get all the treatment for their entire family in one visit. We've been doing this, like I said, for more than 55 years. We have excelled on them. But like any organization out there, we have the same challenges that we see with communications, engagement, as HR specifically, standard and consistency. And of course, doing this with less people and trying to do this with less system, but optimizing our results.
Before we get into the technology, what were some of the manual communication problems your team was trying to solve?
Oh, man, so many of them. I remember walking into this role and even to recently, couple things was just manpower. It just took us so long to create an email fine tune it, editing it, making sure that it's attention grabbing, relevant, but also considering all the communication, how it's going to be received, how we're going to follow up with it. Each single email can take anywhere from 4 to 8 hours of getting together with creativeness, images, putting the words together so many times and multiple days, of course, and sending that out. And then if the team members did not receive it, we will not know why they didn't receive it. Was the wrong email address? Are they not checking their email address? What are the ways that we can do it? And of course, a couple of years ago, a lot of challenges that we saw was we're not able to find out if the if we need to repeatedly send it to same people, same messaging, correct? How can we customize this? Like anybody here in America, we get tens of millions of email every day, correct? From marketing, from a lot of different places. And we're just one of them. We have to compete with everybody. Even though we have our company issued email, it's trying to figure out how to balance it. What do we send to a company email so that is the operation importance is not missing? What does get sent to the personal? And then effectively bring in SMS communication. So those are the challenges that we saw, and how can we effectively get that and consistently? A lot of challenges, I'm pretty sure my peers feel in is that, okay, we send one today and we don't send another one for 6 months, and they're wondering if we're alive or, are we just somebody behind the computer? But also continuously sending it, but same time, we're not bombarding them either, correct? We're not sending 10 million messages every single day. So trying to balance that was a very much challenge as well.
You gave a great example in our prep call. Can you talk about the birthday messages, anniversary messages, supervisor reminders, welcome emails, and the onboarding check-ins that you're able to do now?
Absolutely. Previously, those were not something that we're able to do. Like I explained, that we're taking so much of time, and our team is very small, so we didn't have dedicated individual that can send out those communication. So we were not able to do birthday email communication. And not just simple happy birthday, but customized birthday messaging,
Okay.
anniversary messagings, welcoming to the team, reminding their general manager, regional managers that, hey, there's somebody new in your region coming in. Please go welcome them within the next 7 days. Also sending reminders at 15-day mark or 30-day mark that, hey, don't forget you had somebody new start. Go check up on them, see how they're doing, follow up in their training. How can we improve? Because only way as organization we could improve is to get the real life feedback, but not 3 months or 6 months later when it's already too late, but getting the results right away. On top of that, we also communicating and um, cultural aspects and spirit weeks, engaging them with the company-wide initiatives like spirit weeks that we do. Right now, we're very big in World Cup, so doing a surveys to see who's going to win, doing raffles, also doing. We actually recently this year launched internal mascot. So communicating, voting those things, employee survey, how often we do employee survey, consistency on that survey, and not just doing one and don't do it for the next 5 years, but continuously able to receive that feedback annually basis as well. So a lot of this takes a lot of time, and I know a lot of organizations out there. Previously, they have entire HR communication department that they were able to do this, but organization like my size, and I'm pretty sure a lot of my peers, we don't have that kind of resources. So this was a lot of challenge that we saw because we have to focus on employee relations, issues. So these are the things that we were being missed. Areas that we could improve our employee culture, but also touch points that we're able to bring, especially in the beginning of their career with the organization, that we're missing a lot. And through this new technology that we brought in ChangeEngine, we're able to improve that significantly. And that's where I'm super excited to talk about this communication and how they really helped us improve overall.
So it's interesting that AI did not reduce the human touch. It actually helped you create more touch points. So
Absolutely.
the story is not simply that the process got faster. The bigger point is that HR gained capacity.
That is correct. Absolutely. A lot of people think that AI is going to take away the ability of the human and bring just efficiency and just AI driven. But AI, like you mentioned, Rich, AI gives us the ability to be more human because it gives us more resources. Correct. It's how we
Mhm.
reuse those resources as an HR leader or ops leader or any organization. Um, I think right now we're nowhere near to the capacity that people are fear of what's going to happen. But this is a time that we have to embrace it, learn it, and really truly to engaging and use those areas so that we could become more efficient on what we're doing and crafting the way that we need to.
You shared that pulse checks used to take 3 to 4 weeks with a lot of manual follow up. And now you can get a similar response volume in about 2 weeks. What changed operationally?
Wow, that is one of the biggest thing that I saw result with Change Engine. Previously, when we do employee survey, the amount of the energy and manpower that we have to do to get anywhere from 40 to 60% of feedback from our team members or annual daily follow-ups with our GMs, regional team members, visiting the offices, following up weekly, not just one day on those, but weekly overall because as a lot of our employees are confidential, correct? So we don't know where this is coming from. So doing manual, repetitive follow-ups, repetitively uh, reaching out, and the operation is getting burned out. Oh my God, HR is reaching out again for the same thing over and over again. And at a certain point, I really have to question if they're really even reminding anybody because they feel like enough communication has gone out, correct? That will take anywhere up to 6 weeks to get kind of satisfied result. Most recent one we did in 2 weeks, we're able to. So we decreased this a significant time frame. In 2 weeks, we got the same amount of results. And by the third week, we got even better result than previously. We got all the way to 70% result. And certain surveys that we had 85 participant rate. We had 90 in one of them. That was a little bit more engaging in our voting for a mascot, but we are seeing higher volume and in 75 percentile, we're receiving feedbacks. Of course, a lot of them an employee survey, we are still around 50 to 60. However, the time of receiving the response significantly decreased. So how did this decrease? So first, more customized reach out. So it's not like, hey, team member, do this. Anybody who receives a previous communication, they knew right away that this is everybody. Okay, you're just sending massive email. But with your change engine, do AI initiative, it's really customized. Hey, Rich, we see that you haven't done this. Hey, we want your feedback to give us this result. So very customizable. If it shows that you haven't clicked on it, it will send automatic reminders on day one, day three, day seven, so that you're able to do it. On top of that, we have a setup that it sends an SMS message goes out to the employees and let them know, hey, you haven't done this survey. We really want your feedback. So with that ease, touchness, ease, reminder, more plus a personalizable, also with the SMS reminders to those specifically, people who have already done the survey, they're not receiving any more communication. It's those individuals that who hasn't done it, they're getting the communication through AI initiative that we don't have to go and figure out who it is. It automatically takes care of those burdens off and the confidentiality stays, and we're getting the results that we need to get in more timely manner.
That's very helpful because this separates real adoption from AI theater. A lot of vendors can make a tool look good in a demo. The demo looks clean, the dashboard looks polished, the use case sounds compelling. But once the tool gets inside the business, the real questions are different. Can your team actually use it? Does it fit your existing workflow? Does it make life easier for employees? And does it still matter 6 months later? Which brings us to the title of this episode. The title, AI Without Hype. When a vendor shows you a new AI enabled tool, how do you separate what looks impressive from what will actually work?
Rich, I'm pretty sure with any listener out there that is executive level or senior level that probably
Mhm.
gets reached out 3 to 10 times in a week period from different AI platform out there. Hey, we have this cool feature that it might be really cool for you. And first of all, one, that message is AI too. But once you receive it, we're sold on this perfect picture. And it might be amazing tools out there. And there are so many crazy new tools that it's great. However, if we do not know how it's going to be utilized, one, leader has to know how to use it. We have to know the 100% output of that system with our current system that is usable and is reality usable, that we're able to use the system to max output. So what do I mean by that? Like exactly you said, I might bring a system and say, hey, team, this is a cool system. We're going to use it starting today. But if nobody's bought to it, nobody's going to utilize it, correct? We have to show that it is a system that it's attainable, easy use. So ChangeEngine, which is the platform that we use very closely, Andrew, when he reached out to him, we had a call and I told Andrew, hey, Andrew, I don't want a system that I'm not going to use in 6 months down the road. I'm not going to use a system that is so complicated that we have to maneuver all little things to make it fit with our current system. And, the feedback I got from Andrew is so amazing. One, their team is an extension of my team. So it's kind of like getting more team member, like our internal HR communication team for free, basically. Of course, we're paying for the platform, but it's more help that we're getting for free. That's how I feel that the support is coming to me. And it's really adaptable. They really customize that we're able to use how it is. So they did the 90% of connection of implementation work for us and tie it with our HRS system. And second thing, it's everyday usable. The first thing I do whenever we need to do of communication or server getting feedback or we need to get something done that is require engagement. First thing we do is, can ChangeEngine do this? That's the first step I say to my team. And they go to the ChangeEngine and review, is this possible? We try our first out if that's possible. And if we run into issue, we work with their internal team to figure out, and the communication goes out. We have done so much things that way that we have literally everything we say communication-wise, ChangeEngine is the first stop. And that's when I realized, okay, this system works. This is really a cool feature of extension of my team that we're able to use again. A lot of times we get a system in and we forget about it. Oh, can we do this? And that's because we don't know the full capacity of it, and then we use the 25 or 30% of the capacity and we feel that that's the most outcome there is. Right now with the ChangeEngine, we don't have 100% of it, but what we have is so amazing that we use it every corner of it. We use it for engagement, like we mentioned, but not just engagement. We do trivias. We make booklets out of our photos and communicate to team members. We use it for newsletter, not just birthday and anniversary, but we communicate for the winners of competitions. We use it as a feedback collector for not just employee survey, but pictures, ideas, and things like that we're able to combine it. We're super excited to use it for our benefits portal so that we could really make it engaging, because it will be engaging platform-wise of communicating with health, open enrollment. I'm pretty sure every benefits manager or HR leader out there dreads open enrollment and how intensive it is and how we're going to get communication out, and vice versa. Team members are burned out receiving it. But through using the AI and How to initiative, we could target it and get the communication out there clearly. So it's really about utilizing the system to 100% capacity. And second thing, not picking something that it just looks nice. You have to pick a system that is something that we're going to be able to use. Don't demo it and think that's going to work. Ask the questions. How is this going to be able to use? Because AI is moving so fast. If you're thinking that this is going to work 6 months down the road, I bet you there's something better in 6 months. We have to be able to use now. It's going to be adaptable now. How am I going to use this system tomorrow? And if that's going to be achievable, if they said that they could do that, that is going to be system for you. You have to find a system that works for you because not every system out there will work for you. So that's where I really approach it. I'm very thankful for Andrew because his team really pulled through and we really use ChangeEngine every single day. We communicated today of our Spirit Week and the visual on it, night and day. Before it looked like a high school flyer. Now it looks like real digital. Somebody from marketing created it with AI, and then we're sending out a communication with our own mascot and with the little getup that comes with and the creative messaging. Correct? We don't have to spend time creating all these things out. With the AI system, they give you the voice of tone of messaging that is consistent with it. So it doesn't sound like I wrote it and somebody else wrote it next day. It's continuously same messaging that you're able to tweak as it goes.
That's a real practical way to look at the buying decision. But what can actually be used, adopted, trusted inside the organization. But even when tools work, there is still a bigger HR question. Where should AI stop?
That's a lot of conversation that we're having with our HR peers, even among with me and in my community as well.
Mhm.
Everybody thinks that AI is here, and we have to believe that AI is here to stay. It's not going away. We can't close our eyes and hoping that it goes away when we open our eyes. It's here to stay forever, and we have to adapt to it. Now, what I will tell my peers all the time is this: AI is the tool. It's not the final result. It's how we use AI to really drive the initiatives. So HR people, we know what we're good at. We know the history, we have the knowledge, we have the emotional EQ of our people. We know the nuances, what our team needs. We know what our leaders lack in or what our leaders' strength is. We have to review that. That's where our strength is. We use that and in comprehensive AI to help those areas because we can't be in every single place. Correct. So what
Right.
I really tell my team is that hey, use AI, use our ChangeEngine, use our communication platform to automate this so we could focus where we're the most needed. Where we're most needed is those people touches. And that's never gonna go away. Um, that's always going to be there. We will have to be the person to go talk to person handling ER situation. Because, my goodness, if you tell me that AI is going to take away ER right now, I'm so worried for any lawsuits that's going to happen. But because we are going to be able to understand the history behind it, we know everything. We don't have to feed it into it and we're going to get that information so that that's our strength. We have to keep our strength even stronger by being in those areas where we're good at and use the tools that we have in the areas that we're lacking in, areas that we're not able to focus on, areas that we said, you know what, I don't have the team member to do it, so I'm going to let this go. But guess what? Some of those area is costing us the employee engagement, the journey of their employment, the touch points that we're missing on, the reminders that we're sending out. Those we have to automate it. We have to change it to the communication of and rely on AI to take care of those. And that's where we're able to do so much more with an HR team with small team and small budget.
You said HR still requires history, knowledge, emotion, and nuance. How do you make sure technology supports those things instead of replacing them?
One, we have to be perfect, not perfect, but we have to be excellent in our crafts. Um, we have to know where we belong as individuals, not just understanding operation and HR, but understanding how HR influences every corner of the businesses. We have to know that also AI adapts. We also have to know that AI changes every single day. I'm sure AI is adapting every single day. So as an HR, we have to know where our strong suit is. And that's where we have to be and shine and we have to do what we do best. AI is a tool. They're only able to do up to the point where we feed them to do. Correct?
Mhm.
We're not going to be able to feed every single thing we know as a people. As an HR leader, I talk to a lot of leaders. And a lot of leaders when they're focused on one thing, they forget everything that's happening around them. They forgot what happened before, they're forgetting what's happening in the future. And it's my job to remind them, hey, guess what? Remember that time that this happened? And remember when that's going to happen and when you say these things, we have to remember that, correct? So that's where we shine, and we're continue going to shine on that. AI is going to help them be a gatekeeper. Many times they say HR is like the police, correct? They're the hall pass keeper in the, in the organizations. And those are
Yeah.
the things that we could give it to AI. Let AI handle those things, and be in areas that where we can make the fun, exciting things happen, and don't be afraid to let those go. I know there's a lot of HR leaders out there that if you let those go, that we're not going to have the importance on it. But a lot of operation leaders out there, they want HR leaders to be strategically. They want the HR leaders to be partners of how to initially move forward. So I challenge my HR leaders to think that way. And I'm challenging myself. I'm not saying that I'm perfect at that or our organization's perfect. They have the best HR leader. No, it's not that. I am working towards that every single day to see how I can be more strategically supportive. In order to do that, I have to rely on the things that I am given to take care of those areas. And that's exactly where it is. Birthdays and anniversary, Rich, we're not able to send any of those communication out continuously before. So if HR is not consistent, we could be in a lot of areas of trouble. It could lead to favoritism. Inconsistent practice is very bad for HR practices. So, those
Right.
are the areas that where we needed to improve. And AI helped that. ChangeEngine helped that. And not just help by saying simple email, but boost and made it better than what we can do. And those are the things. Hey, I'm good at HR, but I'm not good at marketing. I'm not good at those little small things of making it look really cool. And that's where you have to use AI. We have to know our strengths, pros and cons as an HR leader. Utilize the tools, use those things as make you more marketable. HR leaders, don't be afraid. I say it's time to really embrace our AI system. But when you're embracing it, figure out what system works. One, your system already is probably offering AI system, but is that system what you need? Um, I know every HRIS system, talent, learning system, they're all creating their own version of AI. And it's great. I love that every platform is adapting to AI, but all their AI system is limited, you know,
Right.
and it's going to get updated every single day. I know a lot of HR leaders are frustrated with all the updates that's happening all the time in those systems. And I myself was in that shoes. And certain system updates, you might not want it, you might not need it. But we have to understand how is AI really helping us. Don't be afraid of those that's gonna help you. And I think that's really thing that it was make us more cut edge and able to understand what's coming and able to be adaptable to the new changes.
So, for other HR leaders that are managing lean teams across multiple locations, what advice would you give them as they start exploring AI?
Um, I want to first say you're not alone. I'm there with you. There's many people out there that can support you and help you. And this is a community where we could work together. That's my first thing I want to say to everybody who's listening. Second thing is when you are thinking of AI and many people reaching
Yeah.
out to you, first ask yourself, can I use this system? If you could use this system and understand 100% to know how it's going to be used in every single corner of your platform, not just HR, but maybe TA, maybe learning and development, many in payroll even, benefits, can this use in every single part of your organization? Then that's the right tool. Because guess what? Every single tool that we bring in, it has to be cross-dimensional in within our departments. And the third thing is don't pick something that they tell you that if you implement it, this is how you're going to improve in 6 months and 1 year. Because like I mentioned previously, in 6 months and 1 year, there's something going to be better. and that company also has to adapt as this AI gets better. So first, pick something that you're 100% comfortable, able to cross-board adapt. But second, how it's going to make an impact day one. And make it simple. Don't make it complicated. There's so many things that you have to get it connected and then trying to see if this is going to work, that's going to work. No, can he get your data as what it is and give you output that you require? Third thing, cost isn't everything. A lot of individuals out there are afraid of how expensive AI is. But guess what? With everybody adapting to AI, it's not as expensive as some of the platform. You have to figure out what works and what doesn't work. I'm pretty sure everybody out they're getting reached out daily. Don't be afraid to talk to them. I personally love to talk to a lot of individuals out there, not just because I want to implement it or buy their system, but I want to see what's coming, what's new, correct? And recently I talked to a gentleman, such a great idea, innovative idea, and great thinking. But I knew that we were not right fit because one, we had too much information that had to feed to get that result that you'll probably take anywhere from 3 to 4 months to implement it. And like I said, I knew in 6 months there's going to be something better. So we want the right fit for it. But second thing, it wasn't adaptable in a way that I wanted to be. Control what you want to give. Like I say, AI is a tool. So don't let it run you. Control it. Control what the output is. In order to do that, I cannot emphasize this enough, is you have to know 100% how is this going to give you the most output on the results. Those will be my 3 advice on it. But don't be afraid to adapt. Don't be afraid to learn and continues to learn. And don't wait for your rep to come and tell you. Anybody that reaches out to you to LinkedIn, just have a conversation, have a demo. They know that they're knocking on 10 million doors out there, and they're happy to talk to you and be educated, see what really works and what doesn't work. And that's how I got to know ChangeEngine. And I have to say, one of the best decisions I have made in 2026. And in short of half of the year, we have implemented so much, and I'm excited to see where this partnership continues to go because we're doing so much amazing things. One of the things I am looking for, even in second half in 2027, is really driving the diversity and inclusion piece to it. I'm not talking about programs, but delivering the messages, correct? Inclusively delivering great messaging that our team member feels, getting feedback from a team member to see what's important for them and delivering that messaging out, figuring out what our team member wants. And we're able to do that with our small team because the platform that we have.
So the lesson here is not that HR needs more technology for the sake of technology. It's that the right tool can give a lean team more consistency, more visibility, and more capacity to show up for the people in a human way. I think that is the part of this conversation that will resonate with a lot of HR leaders. AI is not the strategy by itself. It is the tool, like you've mentioned several times now. And when it's used thoughtfully, it can help HR teams communicate better, follow up faster, listen more consistently, and create touch points that might otherwise fall through the cracks.
Absolutely.
Yuki, thank you again for joining me on Navigating AI. I really appreciate you sharing such a practical, grounded view of how Jefferson Dental is using technology to strengthen AR communication without losing the human side of the work.
Thank you for having me, Rich.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Navigating AI with Rich Wilson. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe, share the episode, and join us next time as we continue exploring how leaders can navigate the new intelligence era with clarity, purpose, and a human-centered mindset.
Mission accomplished. This is Navigating AI. Subscribe for more insights into how AI is transforming business, leadership, and the world. Until next time, stay curious, stay ahead.